Well, it's finally time to start the next project. And for me, the hardest part is always just getting started. If I can accomplish just a couple of things, then I'll have a start and I'll be committed to going. So first thing I need to do though is try to get the brakes unstuck, because last time I tried to move it, it wouldn't. All right, well, here is the next project in question. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I tried to start this a couple of years ago and got sidetracked, but that happens a lot of times. It happens a lot to me, I know, but this is my 2000 F750 Ford dump truck, and it has served me well. I bought it almost four or 5 years ago now. I paid 8,000 bucks for it. It's been great. I haven't done anything to it. And what I found is I really like it. I bought a Sterling dump truck that I thought I would really like to replace this. And what I found was I missed the automatic, I missed the maneuverability of this, and overall, this is the truck I want to keep. For right now, I thought we'd just do a walk around. I've seen a lot of folks do that. It's a great way to get acquainted with the truck, and I'm going to point out some of the things I want to address. First of all, this was a municipal truck. I bought it up in Michigan, and it was used in a small town for maintaining the roads. I don't think that it ever actually had a plow on it, but it did have a salter on it. And fortunately, it didn't tear up the frame too badly or the bed. I removed the salter right away, and you can see some of the damage that is left behind from having salt in the bed. But fortunately, at one point in this truck's life, someone took the time to sandblast it, and they primered the truck body. And you can see a good bit of pitting here, but it's not terrible, and I can live with it. This old original primer is all chalked up now, and it looks white like that. And then the primer I put on, like I said, they had sandblasted the frame and primered it at one point, so that was good, but it needs redone. The person before me had put the aluminum rims on it, which would be a must for me. I'm a sucker for aluminum rims. It's got a manual tailgate, which functions and works just fine, but there's some crusties here that need addressed. I'd like to fix up the tailgate, and I would like to put a barn door tailgate on it. That means putting some hinges on this side, and that way you pull some pins over there and you can open the tailgate like a barn door. It would open this way and fold up against the side of the bed. Then you could load logs or dump wood without having to worry about it getting hung up in the tailgate. And you don't have to worry about taking the tailgate on and off. It had a tarp on it when I bought it. The tarp on this one was really in the way of loading it with the backhoe. I mean, it was gonna get bent in no time. So I took it off because I don't really use it. These are the holes that remain from that. So I need to fill these holes. The frame and stuff is in pretty good shape. I had to put a new muffler on it when I got it. You can tell where the difference where they sandblasted it before and the old original paint. Like this hasn't been blasted up here. So that's all flaky. So my goal for this side is a toolbox, clean that up. Got something going on here with that needs addressed, but for the most part, the body's not too bad. The doors and the hood, of course, this is fiberglass. It's got these stainless mirrors that are with stainless fasteners that have all held up pretty good. For a 2000, you know, it's held up relatively well. So this it's got a pump on the front. This is a live PTO that runs off the crankshaft of the engine, and it's active all the time. And this frame used to stick out a lot farther on the front. It had this really goofy looking bumper on it, and I thought it was just super ugly. So I chopped the frame back, found a newer style bumper to put on it. It still sticks out a little bit, but I don't think it looks terrible. I have the newer style grill that I'd like to put on here to give it a little more updated look and kind of bling it out with a little more chrome. I still like chrome. I'm gonna hopefully replace this step and battery box with like a Peterbilt style where you can have the batteries inside of a box and a nice box there. This is the hydraulic tank. I really can't change that, but I could just stick a piece of stainless or diamond plate on the front just to fix it to the front and give it a nicer look. Blast and paint the frame, blast and paint the bed, paint the cab, and then here's one of my first problems. So most of the damage from this being a salt truck is right here. So whoever drove this truck jumped in with salt on their boots, and it just rotted this rocker completely out. And this has really deteriorated in the time that I've owned it. So I have replacement panels for the floor and replacement inner and outer rockers. I dread doing, but we're gonna have to do. See, the passenger side is pretty normal. Nothing too severe over here because they weren't getting in and out. So I mentioned that I bought a Sterling truck that I was gonna replace this with. Well, I'm not. I'm gonna sell it. And it's got some really cool front tires on it. It's got the big wide floaters, and I wanna see how they look on here before I sell that other truck. So my goal for right now is to switch out the front tires, see what it looks like, and then maybe get started on that rocker panel. All right, so here's the Sterling, and here are the tires that are on the front of that, tires and rims. These are a big, wide floater. There's a couple reasons why I like floaters. Two main ones. First of all, when you have floater tires on the front, they don't cut in as badly when you're off-roading, and I do a lot of off-road driving with this truck through either grass or dirt, and the floaters just help provide flotation. That's exactly what they're for. The second reason is they look super cool. I mean, come on. This truck will really have a new attitude if it's got those floaters on the front. So I want to see if they fit, and then we'll see what they look like, drive it around. I can't wait to see what it looks like. The real challenge is going to be getting these front tires off. So I went to go switch out these tires and realized that my floor jack wasn't nearly heavy enough to lift the front of this truck. I was going to hurt the jack or bend the handle or something. So I went to Harbor Freight and bought a brand new 22-ton pneumatic floor jack. That thing works great. Then I was going to buzz the front lug nuts off. Figured my 1/2-inch Milwaukee impact wouldn't have any trouble with it since it worked on so many things before. Come to find out, it wouldn't touch these lug nuts. At the farm show, they had these on sale, and I thought I'm going to be doing a lot of wheels, so I bought a 1-inch drive Milwaukee impact. This thing ought to do it. Got it home, then realized I didn't have any way to use it with my 3/4-inch drive sockets, so I had to order some 1-inch drive impact sockets. These are metric because I need a 33 millimeter. Got them from Harbor Freight. Now I'm ready to give this thing a shot. This better work. This is an investment, but we're gonna be going through a lot of wheels and tires, so this is a beast. Better work. Oh yeah. The 1/2-inch impact wouldn't touch them. You know, I breezed by that like I thought it was no big deal to have to buy this thing, but it was expensive, and I stewed and fretted about that a lot. But if you're gonna have these big trucks, then that's one of the costs of having them. And anytime it comes to a tool like that, I'm reminded of my favorite Henry Ford quote. And that is, if you need a tool and you don't buy it, you pay for it without the benefit of using it. It's a nice excuse to buy tools. There we go. Oh, that is a big tire. Not as big as Louis', but big enough. It'd be interesting to see how much taller those tires are. I don't want it to be raked backwards. That's stuck. Oh, I have a feeling this isn't going to do it. Oh, it did it. I've seen worse. There we go. I'll put these on the Sterling and just sell it with these on there. I'm going to clean them up a little bit first. Steel wool. Let's try a little of this polish. Oh, jeez. What a mess. I bet you that bottle's 25 years old. And I went to squeeze it and it just cracked the side. I squeezed it, it's brittle, I can feel it. I better go see what Kara thinks about this. Might be a lost cause. I'll just walk up and let her have a look-see and see what she thinks. Hey there. I had a little oopsie-daisy.
What is it?
Wheel polish. I got some new duds on. Fortunately, I got like 20 different hoodies. I'm gonna try something else. That looks good enough for who it's for, as they say. not high enough. And I got the jack over there. We'll try a floater on the 750. Ooh, well, rust has got to the backing plate here. I'll probably want to just cut that off of there. This rust is a never-ending project. If I can just cut this. Yeah, that much fell off. Okay. You tell me, is it a no-no to put a little WD-40 on these threads? Just to lube them up? Does that make it get too tight? Feels like I've heard that. I don't know if that's right. That's one of the things I'm always afraid of, is just doing it wrong, because there's so many people that could potentially be watching that know how to do it right, but this is how you find out, I guess. I know that these washers should spin loosely on the lug nuts, because you want to be able to have the washer tighten down and then the lug nut still spin. So I do know that. You don't want any of these froze up. I'll check them all, make sure they work, but I think they did. There we go. They fit on the hub. All right, I think that's going to look pretty cool. You have an idea here of what I'm working on, right? So I'm just going to hurry up and get busy, and then I'll show you the results on both trucks when I'm finished. All right, well, it took me a few hours to get the tires all switched around between the 750 and the Sterling, but that's finally done. Then I took a little time and even cleaned up the Sterling a little bit, polished up the front rims, worked on the decals. And I never showed you, but I had a viewer, a local viewer, reach out to me and offer to help out with some rear wheel polishing. I got some wheels I want to polish on Louis, and then I had him do the rears on the Sterling. I think they turned out great. So here's the end result on the Sterling with the switched out wheels. I think it turned out pretty good. I got the 750 wheels on the front with the center caps, and then thanks to Marlon was just here actually, but he polished up those rear wheels. They look great. So I think that's going to make someone a really nice truck. But check out the 750 with these floaters on the front. I think it looks mean. Need to get the center caps on there, but this tire was rubbing on the fender a little bit, but this fender is not right anyway, so that needed some work. I think it's too close to the tire, but I'll work on that. Now I'm going to get the 750 back into the shop and tear into that floor. If I can get a little bit done on that floor, I'll be happy for now. All right, the next thing I need to do, rip out this seat and the floor matting, kind of gut the interior. If I get that done, it'll be a big deal. I'll explain in a minute as soon as I get it done. Don't want to jump the gun. Still got water in it. I don't throw away water trapped in plastic bottles. I'll always drain them out first. Gonna need a big Torx bit for these. Hopefully they come out. This is a big Torx, like a T50. Oh goodness. Huh. Well, there's one of two. Don't get too excited yet, Neil. Oh, please, please, please. Got it. Cordless power tools are terrific, and they certainly have their place, but on something like this, you don't want to use a cordless impact if you can help it. It more than likely would have stripped out the head, but when you're using a hand tool for something like this, you can really feel it. You can feel it strip out in your hands. This is the moment of truth. Oh, that's easy. Wow. It's a heavy seat. Got it. That could have went bad. Just had to be patient. I worked it back and forth. You got to go loosen a little bit, tighten a little bit, loosen a little bit, tighten a little bit. Okay, probably get rid of this for now. So this is significant because it means I've essentially disabled this truck. Without the seat, as soon as I cut this floor in here, I'm committed. And that's what I didn't have the last time. I wasn't committed. I said I was going to do it and then didn't. Outer rocker. I think in order to do this proper, I'm going to have to get this step and battery box and the batteries out of here so I can get in behind and rebuild all this. So this battery box is kind of janky, as the kids say. The battery hold downs here, it's just kind of not real functional, but when I bought this, the guy told me it needed batteries because he had to jump it when I went to get it. It was cold and it was in the winter time. And that was 5 years ago and I haven't replaced the batteries. So that one's 7.5 years old. It would probably behoove me to put new batteries in it. Is that the right word? You know, someone pointed out to me in the last video I made of that barn moving, but they pointed out that I used the word benefactor in the wrong sense. But I appreciate that, being corrected, really. I should speak correctly if I can or say the right words. So I should have said I was the beneficiary of all those beams that I got, not benefactor. So thanks for pointing that out, but I think it behooves me to get new batteries for this. And I'll look that up before I publish this. Okay, here's a video note to my future self. The top of this step is about 24.5 inches from the frame. They're just spinning. They're just spinning.
Is that good?
Keep going. Okay, did it come off?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now let's cross our fingers that the rest of them go that well. There you go.
Got it. Got it.
Pull me out. Okay, hold on, wait for these cords. Okay, let's sit down. Whew. Got it, thank you. Well, this could be a lot worse, I suppose, but still pretty crusty. And I am pot committed now. Batteries are out of it, the seat's out of it. I'm gonna have to do something. Which brings me to my next talking point. I wanted to run it by you. You know, it's great when YouTubers can start a project and finish it and have it all done in one video, and that can happen over months and months of time. But on this, if I'm still gonna wanna put out a video, hopefully every week, then I can't do that. I gotta do a little bit of progression, an episode at a time. And I hope you guys are okay with that. That's what I did with Bruno, and it seemed to work well. But I know a lot of people get upset when you start something and don't finish it. But this is pretty much real time. It's Saturday, February 10th, 2024, as I record this. Plus, I got a lot of things I want to talk to you, the audience, about. I've got ideas for the paint job, which I'd like to run by you. We got to name this thing yet, so there's plenty more to come, and it's going to take me several months to get it done. But not every video every week will be about this, I'm sure. We'll interject some other things as well. So I just appreciate you being here. I thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you liked it. Hope that you want to come back for more. And if I'm lucky, I'll see you then. Thanks so much. This camera follows me everywhere I go, so that doesn't work to just walk off camera. Ha! Tricked it. Speaking of work, I'm going to check on the boys, see how they're doing with the wood stacking out there. Oh, how's it going back here? Got an extra helper? Oh yeah, he knows how to dress for success. Oh, it's getting there. All right, I was just checking on you. Thanks for helping. All right, well, it looks like they've got that under control. It's not too tough to stack firewood, but it's good that all the kids get a chance to do it now and then. So